ladies and gentlemen, this is my latest acquisition. I worked on this about 2 years ago, and the folks, they had a zero turn. Well, they had problems with their zero turn the other day, and I guess the zero turn's about 6 or 7 years old and had a lot of hours on it. They got a really large yard to cut, and it's going to be about $1,800 to fix it. What it is, one of the transmissions, the one on the left hand side, had gone out, and they went and bought a new one, a new Cub Cadet, and that's a fancy one too. It's got a Kawasaki engine, and I think it's a 60-inch cut. I mean, it's really a nice mower. And anyway, they let me have this one really cheap, so I went ahead and took it. It's got new tires on the back. I put those on for them. Both the tires on the front have inner tubes in them. I put those in for them because they wouldn't hold air. And I'd taken the mower deck off. I had the mower deck completely off. I took the blades off. I took all the spindles apart. One I took off, and I think it's got 4 bolts that holds the spindle on, maybe 5, I can't remember exactly. But anyway, all the bolts broke, and I didn't want to mess with the other 2 doing the same thing. So with the mower deck off, I took the spindles apart, replaced the bearings, put it all back together. They used it in 22 and 23, and they weren't trying to use it at all this year. And they called me and said, hey, it won't run. Says, we don't know what's wrong with it. Could you come take a look at it? And I went over. It was out of gas. I put fresh gas in it. I put a battery charger on it. And when I got ready to try to start it, I let the battery charger run at 40 amps for about 45 minutes. And I sprayed some brake cleaner into the air intake, got it going. Now this thing has a 22 horse Briggs & Stratton V-twin, and I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, this thing runs pretty doggone good. And I don't remember the exact time, but I know I replaced the battery. I put a brand new battery in it for them, and I was doing some testing on it, and I found that even when the key switch was in the off position, something was still drawing nearly 9 volts of power, and I really didn't like that. So I disconnected everything. So it has power going to the ignition switch, but when it's in the off position, nothing is getting any power. So I don't know what it was that was killing it, but anyway, ever since I did that, they never had any more problems with it when they used it on a regular basis. And like I said, they got a big yard to cut, and they would fill it up with gas, cut about half their yard, have to fill it up with gas again, finish cutting the other half. But anyway, what I'm wanting to do now is the carburetor needs to be cleaned up, and the fuel tank needs to be cleaned out. So what my plan is, I plan on taking this metal piece off, clean it up, try to get the rust off of it, repaint it, and then put it back on. Maybe replace the seat. I'm not real sure at this point. Maybe just put a seat cover on it. I'm not sure. I want to touch up the paint on the mower deck as well, and just turn around and try to sell it. I'm thinking maybe $700. I don't know how many hours is on this thing. It's got an hour meter, but the hour meter don't work. Somebody had got into it long before I ever did, and I found a whole bunch of electrical problems. On the bottom side, somebody had worked on it, and I'm not sure what happened. All I know is the wires were just all ripped apart, and I got the wires. I fixed all the wires that go to the electric PTO for the mower deck. But anyway, this is mine now. Like I said, I just want to try to clean it up. I mean, it runs good. The carburetor needs some work on it again. And I mean, this thing sat outside for 2 years. I mean, they never even tried to cover it up or anything. Oh, sorry. But anyway, it's a 145 automatic. It's a 48-inch cut. It's got a 24 horse Briggs and Stratton engine on it. Or excuse me, a 22 horse. horsepower is what it is, not 24. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, I think I'm going to clean it up some more. I want to clean it up, repaint this piece. I want to take the fuel tank completely off, so I need to take this off to get the fuel tank off. Get that cleaned up and do some minor repairs. And like I said, then I'm thinking I want to try to sell it. Oh well, that's all I got for now. Everybody have a good day.